Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. In a world filled with endless opportunities, why would two men who have built 13 multi-million-dollar businesses altruistically invest 5 hours per day to teach you the best practice business systems and moves that you can use? Because they believe in you, and they have a lot of time on their hands. They started from the bottom, now they're here. It's the Thrivetime show starring the former U.S. Small Business Administration's Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark, and the entrepreneur trapped inside an optometrist's body, Dr. Robert Zoellner. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses.
We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here.
Started from the bottom, now we're at the top, teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. C's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of 5, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the CNC up on your radio, and now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we're here.
Doing the bullpens, feeling the floor, working.
Yes, and yes. Thrive Nation, on today's show, we're talking about how to grow a successful business. And if you will go to thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire, you can follow along. Let me go there. Let me just show you how you do it. You go to thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire. And when you go there, you can download the show notes that correspond with today's show. So you go to thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire, and you can download the book, A Millionaire's Guide, How to Become Sustainably Rich. And we're going to be teaching today from page 23. Page 23. Page 23. So if you go to page 23 and someone says, I don't get it. How does it work? So if you didn't have access to my Dropbox, you would just go there, you'd put in your email, it's going to kick it to you. And the book is, again, it's called A Millionaire's Guide, How to Become Sustainably Rich. So Millionaires, let me pull it, Millionaire's Guide. Let's pull it up here. Let's look and drop. Ooh, there it is. I'm the author of the book, so I can log in whenever I want to download said PDF. But you, the listener, you can download that for free today, right now. And we're going to download the book, and we're going to go to page 23. So we're going to page 23. We're scrolling down.
Michael Jordan's number.
Woo, scrolling down to page 23. Here we go. Feeling the flow. Working it. Buttering the biscuits.
Buttering them up.
There we go. Okay. So page 23. I received an award from the Small Business Administration in 2007.
That's hanging out.
The Oklahoma Small Business Administration Entrepreneur of the Year Award. That's the award. It was presented to me by Dorothy. Overall, the Oklahoma District Director. I'm sharing that with you to say that it was based upon that which I did, not which I was going to do.
True.
And so we're going to have a guest today, Matt Klein. He's going to be joining us here, and we're going to talk about these concepts, but it's all based upon turning ideas into actual action, into implementation. And that's what we're going to talk about is how do you actually become sustainably rich? Here we go. So I think Matt Klein's joining us. It appears as though he's beaming in live from Denver.
Oh yeah, satellites are linking up.
I can smell the eagerness in his voice. I can sit there. Matt Klein, welcome. How are you, sir?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you for being patient there. We've got a few folks in town, so.
No problem. Matt, what we're talking about today is how to become sustainably wealthy. That's what we're talking about. We're going through page 23 of my new book. We're moving on to page 24. And Aaron, could you read this brief testimonial from the Tulsa Oilers team here, and then we'll get into some solid training.
All right. Yes, it says, our experience working with Clay Clark and his team has been nothing short of amazing. When our team first met Clay, I expressed that if we were able to move the needle and get results, we would be working together for a very long time. Clay and his team listened to our problems and custom built a program specifically for us. So far this season, we have experienced a 42% increase in corporate sponsorship sales, a 10% increase in season ticket sales, and over 103% increase in group ticket sales. We have also had a 21% increase in people actually attending the games, thus resulting in a 27% increase in concession and novelty sales.
Okay, so we stop with this. This right here is a testimonial, but you know what? That's just one. Let's do the next one because Matt. What we're talking about today, there's three levels of success. Okay, there's three steps to success. Yep. We're going to get into it, but I want to make sure we get this. Step number one is you have to gain a practical education, like your ability in the case of OxyFresh to clean carpets with 10 times less water than the competition in an excellent way, the way that leaves the customer happy. In the case of Shaw Homes, you have to be able to build houses that customers actually like. In the case of my consulting business, it's do I grow companies, okay? So step one is you gain practical education. Step two, you gain a reputation. And step three, cha-ching, you make compensation. And sometimes we want to rush through those steps. So let's read another one of those testimonials just so because we're starting to build that reputation here.
You want me to do the one from Jesse?
Yeah, page 27 of the book here, please.
Okay, it says, you certainly were the on-site leader that we needed for this calling campaign. By watching you work with these students and seeing the result, I became reassured that hiring you to do exactly what you did was the right thing to do. Your team brought in over $120,000 in gifts and pledges, which may be an all-time ORU phone-a-thon record.
I was going to skip down to another one. This is all, right here in the book, documented. The name of the people, their testimony. Why am I saying this? This is so important. We're going to get into this today. We're talking about building your reputation. This is so important. When I show you the reputation that OxyFresh has in just a moment, somebody is going to wet their pants. Oh, and that's not a look. You don't want to wet your pants. You want to get in your car or get into the woods. Wet your pants there. Don't wet your pants.
Thankfully, on camera, you can only see like above the
wet your pants and ruin your own reputation as you learn about reputation.
Okay,
building.
Okay,
keep going. Okay, yeah.
All right, this one is from David Atkinson.
Yeah.
It says, I had the pleasure of working with Mr. Clark in 2010 when I managed over 2.2 million square feet of downtown office and retail space. I can recommend him highly and without reservation. I had hired Mr. Clark to rebrand the portfolio and reach out to prospective tenants. Throughout the course of the campaign, Mr. Clark was a consummate professional. He conducted market research, built a website, and coordinated obtaining pictures, print materials, and gaining media attention within what I would deem record time.
We don't have time to read all of the references on page one. What page is this? Page 25. Page 25. Let's throw that page away. Let's throw it away. Let's go to another page. We don't have time because you want to be, but Matt, you want to have a reputation that's so good people cannot ignore you. Okay, but let's move on to the next page. Which page? 26.
26. Yep. We've got Jennifer Thompson. She's the owner of Bridal Stylist, Fasciano's Bridal and Formal Attire. She said, I own Fasciano's Bridal and Formal Attire and have had to pay thousands of dollars in the past to have websites built that were subpar and not what I needed for my business until Clay taught me how to do it myself. Now my company website comes up on the search engines in the first 3 searches. It has changed my business overnight on how many times the phone rings.
People are bored. Let me just tell you this. This is the stuff that makes money. We could spend the entire show reading testimonials. Back in the day, before I met you, Aaron, I remember I was talking to a potential client named Clay Stairs, who you know.
I know Clay, yeah.
And Clay Stairs said, do you have any references? I said, well, let me just print them out for you.
Yeah, I call him the other Clay.
I gave him over 80 pages of 12-point font, phone numbers and names of clients who we had grown their businesses. And he was like, it's overwhelming. Now look at this. OxyFresh now has 242,532 documented objective reviews. So let's talk about it. Matt Klein, why do you, as the franchise brand director of OxyFresh and a man who also owns your own locations, why do you have to get objective Google reviews from happy customers after each and every service? Why does that have to be an obsession for you?
Yeah, because that's what's allowing your customer base to validate you as a real company, right? If you just put a post out there, hey, I clean carpet, or hey, I do roofing, and there's not a single one, like let's just use reviews as an example. Let's say my last review was 8 months ago. It's like, well, that looks like I haven't been doing anything for 8 months, right? You need objective reviews. You need them consistent. You need them all the time because that one, it tells you that you're doing the good thing because you're getting real reviews from customers. But 2, it keeps you ahead of your competition, right? Yeah. And when someone reads your last 5 reviews, they're all from within a week, right? That's a powerful thing that your customers saying about you, right? So 1, it gets you in front of your customers. You need the amount of reviews, but 2, it keeps you consistent and up to date. I mean, it's just imperative that you get them.
So step one, though, we have to build a practical education. Aaron, at shawhomes.com, at shawhomes.com, you're one of the largest home builders in the region. Why do you actually have to learn how to build houses before you go out there and try to gain objective reviews from customers?
Because what we do is actually not easy. I mean, there are so many steps to what we do. If we don't know the correct materials to order at the right time, get them there, showing up on site, the drywaller needs to have the drywall show up right before he starts drywalling, but not too early so it doesn't get stolen or damaged or walk away or whatever. We have to have a process to everything we do. We have to have the training for our team so they know exactly how to do it.
Yep.
Everything has to be a documented, laid out process, and it has to coincide with our calendar, coincide with staying inside of a budget. I mean, we would be out of business if we didn't do all of these things and train all of our team on how to do all those things.
You see page 26 of my book, folks. This is my new book. You could download it at thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire. I throw it away. You know why? Because I can move on to page 27 and there's more testimonials. Aaron, read the next one, please.
All right. I'll do it.
Here
this
we go.
is from
It's built my confidence.
Adnan Sheikh, founder and president of ZFG
That's
Mortgage.
Adnan, by the way. He'd be a little bit offended. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's a little bit of it.
We were able to move to the top of Google searches in the competitive mortgage internet search category. We got featured on the news twice, and we closed nearly 35% more loans within the first 6 months.
Let's go down to the bottom. Read the white glove testimonial, please.
Okay. This is from Myron Kirkpatrick. He says, being top in Google has impacted our business tremendously. Knowing that we're top in Google makes it so much easier for our clients to search. And if they use certain keywords that pertain to our business, we're the first ones that come up on that page. We got a lot of phone call and website traffic. Everyone takes this. I know Myron. I actually watched Myron go from just a very small business, not really a ton of success, to a smashing success.
Sound like a Hindenburg, baby. Okay. Now listen here, folks. If you're watching today's show, I'm going to show you examples, and I want to be very clear of how we're going to do this. Okay. So we're going to go to thrivetimeshow.com / we're going to go to thrivetimeshow.com. We're going to click on testimonials. Okay. I want you to see this, folks. It's powerful. Type in carpet cleaning quotes. Carpet cleaning, like an old school motivational speaker. It's power. Power. It's power.
It's good.
It's power.
Oh,
It's power here. Woo. Now watch this, folks. If you were thinking about hiring OxyFresh, you would type in the name of the company and read reviews. You would.
You would absolutely do that.
You would do it. Matt, how often do potential buyers call that call center and it's like they're already pre-sold because they've read the reviews? I mean, how often does that happen, Matt?
On a minute-by-minute basis. I mean, I just got off a screen share with a potential franchise candidate. And during that call, which took about 30 minutes, I personally booked 4 jobs all on Google. It's not possible to do that if I'm not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it speaks for itself. The reviews are vitally important. The continuation of those reviews are important. And if you're not there and you're not willing to do the reviews, then you definitely shouldn't become a franchise.
And let me just let me tell you all the different kinds of ways in which you can document your reviews. Okay. One is via Google. That's a Google review. That's a powerful thing. You ask your customer after you provide the service, could you leave us an objective review? It's a powerful thing. You want to bake it into your system, make it part of your checklist, part of your process. But another way you can do it is you can do video reviews. Now, I'm going to brag on a few clients right now, okay, that are doing great. So if you type in PMH, OKC, this is one of my clients. Look here. Here we go. Boom. The video reviews pop up in the search results. So every time he does a project, he'll sit down with the customer and say, hey, what do you think? Here it is.
Now Oklahoma City.
Okay. And how did you hear about PMH Construction?
I went by this store in Edmond.
And they do pergolas, hot tubs. It's so powerful. Aaron, you can't fake it.
No, you can't fake it until you make it. You're never going to get this type of response from customers unless you really go out there and do a great job as a company and then ask people to give you their, real review of what they think of you.
Now, if you type in Joplin Gyms, let me show you another move, folks. Another move. Look at this. Koloff Fitness, one of my longtime clients. Look at them. Video reviews popping up in the search results. How hot is that? You're looking for the company and you see Google reviews and video reviews. Now, folks, I don't want you to wet your pants and to ruin your reputation while learning about building your reputation. Right. That's good.
That is good.
And I know someone out there is you're just urinating everywhere, and you got to hold it in. You got to stop.
Some of you need to go put on some adult diapers right now.
I mean, you're going to need to put on adult diapers after this show. It's so hot, so good. Put on the SPF 1000 sunblock. Now, here's another example. I like to film examples of success as it's happening. You can do before and after photos, okay?
Yep.
In this case, we just did an event this weekend. I told Andrew, he said, dude, we have a problem here. So what's the problem? He said the line to get in to the conference is at least 5 miles in every direction. Matt Klein, look at this.
You had 10 miles of cars.
This was the traffic. It's 5 a.m. Look at that line, baby. It's wild.
That's pretty amazing.
You can't fake that stuff. I can't say, hey, everybody line up at 5 a.m. We'll fake this shot. No, people wanted to see that. I'm like, bro, town, you got to get that on camera. Look at that. Oh. You know, and it's like, man, we're getting a lot of complaints. I know. Trust me. That's what success looks like. I'm serious. You don't want to be at the conference where there's like a person. You want to be at the one where it was like it was packed.
It was so easy to find parking. We drove right up to the venue and walked right in with no issues.
Bjorn and I went right up there, don't you know?
I
And
was
there's
there
nobody.
myself once I got inside, but
It's so important though. You do that let me just show another example. This is more footage. And again, I'm just showing you ways to do this. You cannot fake this stuff. I think a lot of people, what happens is they either A, don't do a good job, or B, if they do a good job, they fail to document. Here we go again. This is another one. And again, why am I showing this to you? I'm trying to show you today, folks, the importance of the 3 steps of entrepreneurship. If you want to have massive success, 1, you have to gain a practical education. You have to have the ability to solve a problem. 2, you've got to develop a reputation, an impressive reputation.
Yep.
And 3, you got to earn that compensation. Now, this is what's wonderful here. Some of you all listening right now don't like Eric Trump. Some of you like Eric Trump. He's my guy. I like Eric Trump. But Eric has told me on stage, and he said it off stage. He said, hey, your events are consistently full every single time, and they're filled with people that love our country, and it's fun to be there. I love it.
Yep.
And Matt, you played college basketball at a very high level. I mean, you played Division I basketball. You know, why do they keep stats? You know, why are you when you're on the team, your coach says, hey guys, here are your stats. I mean, why do you want to know steals per game, assists per game, turnovers per game? Why do they keep stats?
Yeah, because if you don't know how you stack up. I mean, if you don't have the stats and you're just playing the people on your team without knowing their value to the team, you don't know if you can win or not, right? You got to have productive people that you know from history will bring you what you're looking for, whether that's a certain amount of rebounds, a certain amount of points. If you put every single person on the team that's a great defensive player, but none of them can score, you're still going to lose.
right.
No, I'm going to say this. These are the 3 steps to doing this. Okay, this is how you do it. Okay, we talked about the 3 levels. Is 1, you want to gain a practical education.
Yep.
You have to be able to do something, solve a problem. Step 2 is you gain an impressive reputation, and 3rd, you earn a you gain that compensation. Okay, but this is how you do it. You have to install a tracking sheet. You just have to track your key performance indicators. So in the case of OxyFresh, I mean, Matt, love to get your thoughts on this. Aaron, I want to get your thoughts. I'm just going to throw this out for all my clients. I want to track how many leads did you get this week?
Yes.
And how many did you close? At a very bare minimum, how many leads did you get and how many did you close?
Absolutely.
So I know your closing percentage, and I also want to know how many reviews you're getting. These are just basic stats. I want to know how many leads did you get? How many did you close? How many reviews? That's basic stats. There's a lot of other stats I want to get, but I want those 3. Aaron, why do you want to know how many stats, how many leads you're getting at shawhomes.com, how many new homes you're closing, and how many reviews you have?
Well, I mean, first of all, from the lead standpoint, I mean, we can solve any problem except for no sales. I mean, every organization is a sales organization first, and you don't have sales if you don't have leads. You absolutely need to know what's coming in. And then as far as like from the closing standpoint, if you aren't closing on loans or on homes, then you've got a problem with something. Either your product isn't right, your people aren't right, or your position in the market is not right. So people, product, and position, you need to go back and look at that. And, you know, from a Google standpoint, you want to be at the top there of the organic search. And if you're not, then, you know, you're not going to have people coming to you. And then what was your 3rd thing? And then
this is big though. You have to install how many leads you got.
Yeah.
What your closing percentage is. and how many reviews you're getting.
Oh, and reviews. Yeah.
I mean, you guys at Shaw Homes get a review after almost every purchase of a new home.
Oh, yeah. We get it not only from purchases, but we also get it from people that just, there's a lot of realtors that interact with us. There's a lot of people that
let me show you
come to our homes and check them out. So
this is shawhomes.com. You click on testimonials. Boom. Look at all these home buyers, all these reviews here. Powerful. Again, people ask me, I just talked to a lady at the conference. She goes, I was looking at your reviews and I went back and I've seen reviews since like 2005. I'm going, yeah, that's because that's what I do. Matt, OxyFresh. I mean, you guys are fastidious about gathering reviews, and I'm hammering this because I'm telling you folks, this right here could change the game for someone. You install a tracking sheet. Step 2, you got to have a quality control circle. I call it a quality control circle. You might call it a feedback loop. Yeah. You have to follow up with your customers to see if they're happy or not. And this is what we found out at this last event we just did. The people that attended the event that were there had a great time.
Yes, they did.
However, the people that never made it there because they maybe didn't Uber or they didn't Lyft, or they couldn't find an Uber or a Lyft, or they couldn't find a taxi or whatever happened, they're not as happy.
Yeah.
And I talked to some of them today. They go, I couldn't get in. I couldn't find a way. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And you know what you do? You put out videos ahead of time. That's what I did, telling people, please Uber. You saw them. Please Lyft. You saw the videos.
I was part of some of them.
I texted them. I emailed them. I sent it out, and you look at it, you go, well, if 99% of the attendees or 97% were happy and 3% were not happy, it's a pretty good percentage.
That's a great percentage.
Could we get better? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But we're tracking. Matt, why do you have to at OxyFresh know if your customers are actually happy? Why do you have to have the courage to follow up after the job and go, hey, could you leave us a review? Tell us how we did.
Yeah, because if you don't know what you're selling to the public is as advertised, that's a really big problem.
Oof.
Right? You should know exactly, without hesitation, where your flaws are in your company, be working on them. You should know what you're good at and elevate that even higher. Like if you're guessing at how you're doing, I mean, that's a tough road, right? But yeah, I mean, why are you in business, right? You're in business to make money, but you're not going to be able to make money in business if your customers aren't happy. Like if people are afraid of what they're going to get in a response, that should be a really key indicator that you need to change the behavior of your business.
Yeah. Now let's hammer this for a second here. This is very important. Okay. Very important. Again, we install a tracking sheet. Okay. We get the quality. We do the follow-up. Yep. And third, you have to have the courage to ask for the review. Now, this just in.
Yeah.
Consumers are busy.
They are.
So let me just tell you some things you can do. And someone might say, well, I question your ethics. I'm just going to tell you what I do. Someone could judge me later. So, Matt, this is what I do. Someone goes to a conference, or if you're leaving Disney, and I know someone says, I don't like Disney. Listen, I'm not endorsing Disney. I'm just telling you what they do. If you leave Disney, they want you to take a survey. If you're leaving to certain NBA games, they do that now. They'll say, hey, can you leave a survey about your game?
Most large businesses ask you to do a survey when you're done.
They do.
Encounter.
And a lot of times you don't want to do it. So let me just tell you some of the things that I've seen done to me recently. And then I'll tell you what I do as well. So Matt, big restaurant. The other day I'm at a big restaurant, very busy restaurant. They said, sir, would you like to leave a review? And I'm thinking, no. That's what I'm thinking. And it's not because I'm a jerk. It's because I'm just sitting down having a great dinner with my wife.
Right.
And they said, sir, would you like to leave a review? Before I could even respond, they go, hey, and we could give you a free appetizer just for taking the 2 minutes to do it. It would mean a lot to us. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not a jerk. I'm going to do it. And I did it.
Yep.
Another example, there are places in Tulsa that do oil and gas change. They change your oil. And they'll say, hey, if you could leave a review today, we could take $5 off your bill.
Yeah.
$10 off your bill if you leave an objective review. Yep. Some companies give a gift card. Some people, you just have to, and you don't say, here's $5, leave me a great review. No, you're just saying if you could leave us an objective review. Matt, why do you have to sometimes lean on the consumer a little bit? Because, just because it's kind of like you're asking them to do a little bit more than what they wanted to do. Why do you have to do that?
Because that is the most effective form of marketing. Right? Having a Google page up with no reviews is as good as having no Google page.
Yeah.
Right. And so, if you're not reliant on your customers to give you reviews, again, it goes back to your business maybe not being in a state where you deserve reviews. Right.
Oof.
And so for us, we even put it on the profile of our customer.
Yeah.
A link. We just did this, a link where they can click just a one button and it texts the customer exactly the link to where you're trying to get the page. Because if you're not striving as a business to get the review, why would someone leave it? Right? The review starts from the very beginning of that process, like a call ahead, going above and beyond, doing exactly what you say you're going to be doing on, when they looked for your company in the first place. I mean, you should not be in business if you're actually not trying to make your customers happy. Yeah, because if you fight for the reviews, I mean, geez, they should be willing and wanting to do it. They might want a little incentive, but they should still be willing to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, short of there's a couple of businesses that maybe you wouldn't want to do this with. I mean, like if you are really good with your product and really good at selling it, and you're in the methamphetamine sales business, then maybe you don't want a page
to be in that business
at the top of Google, and you probably don't want a lot of reviews out there publicly. But if you're in a business other than that, you
like
probably
if you
do want
swallow a balloon on behalf of
cartel,
yeah,
and
filled
you
with narcotics,
forth
and
from
you bring
Mexico
that back across the border back, and your job is to make sure it doesn't explode while in your body.
Yeah, then you probably don't need to have a page with a lot of critical reviews.
Could you leave me when you get that balloon out? Could you
leave me a review?
These are just
different.
Yeah, and again, we're just telling you these tips because if you don't want to live in a van down by the river, these are some of the things. And again, this is the stuff behind the stuff. And I'm telling you, when you come to our workshops, or if you come to a discovery day at OxyFresh, let me just tell you what's going to happen is there's all that highfalutin TED Talk stuff you could do. There's all that. You could watch all those TED talks where they talk about, black holes. Do they exist? Do they not? They could talk about the future of the human brain but no, if you want to learn how to just make money and to become sustainably wealthy, you have to have, there's four things you have to do. Okay. You have to find a problem. Two, you have to sell the solution. You have to find a problem, provide a solution.
Yep.
Sell the solution. Step 3, nail it and scale it. And there's a lot of details that go into that. So you could start up a shawhomes.com. For how much money would it cost to start up a shawhomes.com? I mean, you're building, a lot of houses. What does it cost?
I mean, really,
give me a number. Playing games with my heart.
$6 million to get it off the
ground. Like $6 million. You just get started. You're on shawhomes.com. Matt Klein, OxyFresh, you're a franchisor designed to sell franchises. That's why people go to oxyfresh.com. They want to buy a career. They want to buy a business. How much does that cost?
It'll cost you $41,900 to become a franchise.
Ooh.
And you're going to want to have about $20,000 or so in operating capital. So $65,000, you got yourself a business that's functioning within 30 to 45 days.
Did he say 65 million? Was that 65 million or 1,000 that he said? I think it might have been 1,000.
It was 1,000.
Okay. What I'm going to do today, and what I'm going to do is on today's show, I'm going to give you a couple different kind of franchise opportunities that I know of. And I'm just telling you, I've known OxyFresh now I've been working with Jonathan Barnett, the founder of OxyFresh, for well over a decade, almost 15 years. And I can tell you, there are hundreds of successful OxyFresh franchises. Matt, how many OxyFresh franchises do you have open now? Is it 2 or is it 7? What's that number?
We're about at 500 like right now. Units.
500.
That's hot. So again, why would I want to buy an OxyFresh? It has a proven system. So step 1, you're kind of skipping ahead. They already have a practical education they're providing for you.
Done.
2 is they already have a reputation.
Check that box.
3, now you can just make that compensation. So that's what you could do. Other option for you, you can come out to one of our in-person workshops if you own your own business. Our next one's coming up in a couple of weeks. I do them every 2 months, though. Every 2 months. I've been doing those since 2005. I used to travel to do them. The last 10 years or so, people have been coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma, to my office to experience these workshops. They're 2-day interactive workshops. We start off at 7 a.m. We go until 3. We do a 45-minute sprint on the topic, and then we take a 15-minute break for questions. We teach marketing, branding, sales, accounting, systems, processes, everything you need to know to start or grow a business. The only thing that's different between a discovery day with OxyFresh and one of our conferences is that if you come to one of our conferences, you don't get to be around the beautiful hair.
Yeah,
that Matt Klein has.
To run your fingers through the beard of Matt Klein if you come to.
And a lot of people will come to Denver not even wanting to buy a franchise. They just want to touch the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So if you're
pretty
wanting
common.
to just touch the mop, maybe it's not a good thing for you, but go to oxyfresh.com, schedule a consultation. It's a free consultation. You can ask questions like, can I touch his hair? Is that okay? They'll say no. But then you can also ask about buying a franchise. And if it's a good fit, they'll schedule Discovery Day. And I really do think it could be a great use of time for you.
Yep.
And it could be a life-changing event. Matt Klein, before we let you go, what's the final word of encouragement you want to share with everybody out there who's listening today and taking notes?
Yeah, I mean, if you are interested in running your own company and you just don't know where to start because it hasn't been a thought that you've had, or maybe you thought that it wasn't possible for you, I would say just reach out to us. Let's have a conversation. We have 2 gentlemen here right now, partnership frat brothers that are in their early 20s and they don't want to get a job. I've been working them for a year to where they're finally to a place now where they got their funding in place, and so they'll be running a business, and hopefully for them, never ever having to go get a job. This is
That's
their
awesome.
diving board off to being serial entrepreneurs for the rest of their lives.
That's great, man. That's
Matt,
exciting.
you look tremendous. You smell incredible. I appreciate you so much. We'll talk to you next week.
Guys, thanks so much.
See you, dude.
See
Bye.
ya.
Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy with Tip Top Canine, and I'm the founder.
I'm Rachel Wimpy, and I am a co-founder.
So we've been running Tip Top for about the last 14 years, franchising for the last 3-4 years. So someone that'd be a good fit for Tip Top loves dogs, they're high energy, they want to be able to own their own job, but they don't want to worry about, that high failure rate. They want to do that like bowling with bumper lanes.
So you give us a call, reach out to us, we'll call you, and then we'll send you an FDD, look over that, read it, fall asleep to it, it's very boring, and then we'll book a discovery day, and you come and you can spend a day or 2 with us, make sure that you actually like it, make sure training dogs is something that you want to do.
So an FDD is a franchise disclosure document. It's a federally regulated document that goes into all the nitty-gritty details of what the franchise agreement entails.
So who would be a good fit to buy a Tip Top Canine would be somebody who loves dogs, who wants to work with dogs all day as their profession. You'll make a lot of money, you'll have a lot of fun, it's very rewarding. And who would not be a good fit is a cat person.
So the upfront cost for Tip Top is $43,000. And a lot of people say they're generating doctor money, but on our disclosure, the numbers are anywhere from over $1 million a year in dog training, what our Oklahoma City location did last year, to $25-35 a month.
To train and get trained by us for Tip Top Canine, to run your own Tip Top Canine, you would be with us for 6 weeks here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So we've been married for 7 years.
8 years.
8 years. So if you're watching this video, you're like, hey, maybe I want to be a dog trainer. Hey, that one sounds super amazing. Go to our website, tiptopcanine.com, click on the yellow franchising tab, fill out the form, and Rachel and I will give you a call. Our Oklahoma City location last year, they did over $1 million. He's been running that shop for 3 years. Before, he was a youth pastor with 0 sales experience, 0 dog training experience before he ever met with us.
So just call us, come spend a day with us, spend a couple days with us, make sure you like training dogs, and own your own business.
Well, the biggest reason to buy a Tip Top Canine is so you own your own job and you own your own future, and you don't hate your life. You get an enjoyable job that brings a lot of income, but is really rewarding.
Hello, my name is Leah Calvert, and I'm with 918 Design Company. We are a screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving company located in Oklahoma. We have been a client of Thrive for just over 1.5 years. In the first year, 2021, that we were a client, they helped us grow the business 96%. And then this past year, in 2022, they helped us grow the business an additional 67%. Can't say enough about Clay and his team. They're absolutely amazing, and we've been very, very happy with them. My business coach, Derek, is so good to work with. He's very proactive. He's very intuitive. He anticipates problems and has had me set up processes and systems to deal with those problems before they even arise. It's just been an overall great experience. We're thankful that they work with us. Just can't thank them enough for all the work that they've done on our company. I would recommend them to absolutely anybody that wants to grow their business. Thank you so much.
All right, Thrive Nation, check it out. We have our business workshop. Our 2-day interactive business workshop is taking place here February 2nd and 3rd, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. February 2nd and 3rd in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And we have just under 35 tickets remaining for this. Now, I know you know me from the Reawaken America tour, and that's what we're doing. But I do business workshops, and I've been doing them for over 10 years. I do them every 2 months. They're very interactive, and we have over 2,000 client success stories that you can see right there if you go to thrivetimeshow.com. This 2-day interactive business workshop is hosted at my office in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's a 2-day interactive how to grow your business workshop where I teach you everything you need to know to start and grow a successful company. I have built several multi-million-dollar companies, and I'm going to teach you how to do it. So if you want to know how to do the marketing, the branding, your accounting, your sales, your workflow, search engine optimization, online ads, everything you need to know, we're going to include that for you. And the way I do the tickets is you can pay $250 for a ticket or whatever price you want to pay. Why? Because I grew up poor and I know what that's like to have zero income, but to have big dreams. And having big dreams with no income, I get it. So sometimes you need a help, maybe hand up, not a handout. We're here to give you that hand up. And so at the Thrive Time Show workshop, let me tell you what you get here. You get practical, step-by-step business training. It's a hands-on business workshop. It starts at 7 a.m. and it goes until 3 p.m. From 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day. It's very interactive. It's a 2-day workshop. We're going to teach you how to create businesses, how to launch businesses, how to scale businesses. We're going to teach you the step-by-step systems you need to implement to grow a successful company. We're going to teach you how to everything you need to know, but there's no upsells in the back of the room. And why do I do it? I do it because you deserve it. B, I'm very good at it. And my partner, Dr. Robert Zoellner, and I, between he and I, we've built a lot of successful companies. I've built Oklahoma's largest men's grooming business, independent, privately owned men's grooming business called Elephant in the Room, which that website is eitrlounge.com. My partner, Dr. Robert Zoellner, has built drzoellner.com, the largest independent private optometry clinic. He's built Z66AA.com, Oklahoma's largest auto auction. We've coached up and built up home building businesses, home flipping businesses, gold and silver companies. And let me just show you. If you go to thrivetimeshow.com and you click on the testimonials button, you're going to see over 2,000 testimonials. Look at this. The attorney James from New York, we helped him grow his business by 79.4% last year. The Flyover Conservatives have grown their podcast by 16,000%, which is a large percentage. The Platinum Pest, it's a pest control company. They've grown 411%. Shaw Homes has grown from 16 million to over 160 million in sales. Someone says, you don't have to sell me. I get it. No. I'm going to give you more. These are just testimonials from the past few months. We've got Kirsten White, a home decorator. She's grown a home design and interior design business. She's grown her business dramatically. You've got here Placid Ojoku. He's a fitness, a personal trainer instructor. He's grown his business dramatically. You got Dan Knapp. It's an affordable insulation company. He's grown it dramatically. Tyler Hallblade, let me tell you his story. He went from a startup to $10 million plus in sales. His company's PrimoTrailers.com. BarbieCookies.com, growing the business dramatically. Joe Burby with Back to Basics Builders. And someone says, no, I don't need any more. No, you need more. We have over 2,000 testimonials. So you can get those tickets by going to thrivetimeshow.com. It's thrivetimeshow.com. And you click on the conferences button. And once you click that button right there, boom, you can see where you can request tickets. And these events take place in Tulsa, Oklahoma at my home office. So again, get those tickets at thrivetimeshow.com. My name's Clay Clark. After I finish connecting with you, speaking with you, I'm going to share with you a brief little commercial so you can see more about the interactive 2-day Thrive Time Show workshops. Again, we have just under 40 tickets remaining for that. It's going to be Tulsa, Oklahoma, February 2nd and 3rd, where my very good friend, John Lee Dumas, the host of one of the largest podcasts in the world, he'll be attending this event as well. It's the EO Fire podcast. That's John Lee Dumas, my very good friend, John Lee Dumas. I've been on his show, I think, 9 times. This guy, John Lee Dumas, let me tell you, he has a podcast, and on the top right of his website, he actually tracks how much profit he's made for the month. This month alone, this man has generated $182,000 of income this month with his podcast, and he'll be speaking at the in-person Thrivetime Show workshop we have coming up in February. And then November 10th and 11th, we have the 2-day interactive workshop. And we have the way the workshop works is we kick off at 7 a.m. And then at 7:40, we take our first break, and then we open it up for questions. And then we do another session at 8, and then we open it up for questions. And then 9 and more questions. So you're getting over 15 hours of interactive training. We serve lunch both days, and you get to come to my office right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I would say a little over 90% of the attendees are not from Tulsa, Oklahoma. You're going to have a blasty blast. My name's Clay Clark. I'm fired up to meet you. Get those tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com, thrivetimeshow.com. I know it costs money to get to these events, but you can name your price. We want to make it affordable for you. You can get those tickets at thrivetimeshow.com.
The Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zoellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zoellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.